What's up, guys? I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why I personally compete in events such as races, obstacle race, gonna do a high rocks, do a Spartan, cross country skiing. Like, why compete? Why not just do the sport? And it kind of goes back to I've always been an athlete. I remember getting ready for basketball season, I would have it marked on the calendar. I've got 90 days until the first day of practice. And then I would create a plan that was going to get me ready for the first day of practice, where I was like locked in. My conditioning was good, my strength was good, I was confident. I was like ready for the season. And then, of course, you would have your games. Your first game is in 2 weeks. We're going to get ready for this game. So you're always having something to kind of strive for. Like, I'm going to really be intentional with the day. And then, I was able to play basketball in college, and it was the same thing. And then when I got out of college, I didn't compete for a while, and I just felt like, man, something's really missing. And then so I would sign up and I would do, a 10K, 5K race, 10K race. And I was just like, oh man, like, I love this, And the good thing is you can do it forever. Like, you can always find something to compete at. And that kind of takes me back to competition and why I believe competition is so healthy. Now, first off, let me say, competition is not always healthy. Some people can be like, you let it destroy them. They can be so focused on winning that it takes away the joy of just competing. Or some people, they get really envious when somebody does better than them. So yeah, not all competition is healthy. Sometimes competition can be toxic and do worse for you. But I know for me, I've read a lot of sports psychology books, and I've been competing, and I feel like I have a good understanding of competition and not taking it too far and not being totally obsessive over it. I know there's that tendency where I tend to get obsessed with one thing, but it's a daily process where I tell myself, like, you don't have to win. Like, you just want to do your best. Train really, really hard for it. Don't let it become your life. And when I'm training for a race, for instance, this Saturday I have a 50K. We signed up, me and a few friends signed up for the race about 3 months ago. And yeah, I just had a plan. I was like, okay, I need to hit 50K. It's about 31 miles in the mountains. I got 3 months. Here's what I need to do. And then I mapped it out, planned, this is the focus. I'm going to get better here, work on my speed, work on my endurance, work on my strength, my stabilization, get everything locked in. Then the last 2 weeks you kind of taper off. But yeah, I personally I love it. I love having something to train for. And it's fun. I know I have a few friends where, like, we'll do races together, and I notice that we just make each other better through competition. Like, it's a healthy relationship. I had a buddy who I played basketball in college with, and we would just battle. Like, we were best friends, but on the court we would go so hard. Like, we wanted to win so badly. And yeah, sure, I would get mad if I lost. He would get mad if he lost. But then we're like, hey, we're best friends. And look how much better we got because we were competing super hard. You tip your cap to them. Hey, you got me today, man. Good job. I'm proud of you. You beat me. But I'm gonna get you next time. Like, I remember getting my butt kicked on a couple races, and I was just like, hey, you want to race again in 6 weeks? Yeah, so sometimes, like, losing can actually, like, motivate you to say, what can I do better? Or somebody, is a phenomenal athlete and, they kick your butt. You can kind of humble yourself and say, hey, man, you smoked me. Like, what's your secret, And you kind of humble yourself and you ask them. Most people are pretty cool and will be like, yeah, it's this particular speed workout, or I've been doing this strength training routine and it's really helped me. elevate my game and be like, hey man, like, you know, I really admire what you do. Would you mind showing me like that speed workout, or you mind showing me that, you know, weightlifting session that's really helped you get to that next level? Or is it something in your nutrition, something with your sleep? Is it something with your sports psychology that is really helping you in that next phase? So, but if you don't compete, you're not really able to get better. And, you know, some people say, why do you need to get better? I'm not saying you have to. I just know for me, when I am striving to improve, I'm much happier. I'm much more fulfilled. Not that I have to get a better time or I have to do better this race, but just striving, having a plan, knowing that you dedicated and you did it. You had all these workouts planned for the 3 months and you knocked them out. You know, you were smart about your plan. You know, you weren't doing like hard. You know, you're doing a hard workout, and then, you know, you kind of have like an active recovery day, and then you do like a medium workout, and then you do like a really intense workout, and then you do a light day, and then you do a rest day. So you're smart with your planning. You know, you progressively overload your body in the right fashion where it can adapt and adjust. And, you know, to go on top of that, another thing why I like competing so much is it really shows you like what the human body is capable of. I know, for instance, with cross-country skiing, you know, I thought I was a pretty good cross-country skier, and then I go and compete at a race and just get smoked. And I was like, man, I had no idea people were this good. You know, and I would watch their technique and then see what they were doing. And then I learned that they're like doing these roller skating or roller skiing in the off season, and they're doing these exercises. And so when you compete, you're like, you see how much better you get. And it's pretty fascinating what the human body is capable of when you push it and you are smart with it and you have fun with it. That's the key, having fun too. If you're not having fun with the journey, you know, there's a chance you're probably going to quit. Maybe you do that race, but you didn't have any fun, and then you're probably not going to do it again. So find something that does bring you joy, and just understand that it's going to be hard. You know, there's certain running workouts I do that they are brutal, but I tell myself, this is what's getting me better. And then when I'm out on a race and I'm, you know, doing really well, it's like, it was worth it. You know, I pushed really hard, but now I'm out in the mountains running these beautiful views. I'm able to, like, you know, run up a hill and fly down and feel good, you know, not in pain, but just in the moment, enjoying it, you know, knowing that you put in the work and you didn't skip workouts, you didn't dog it at all. So, all right, guys, that's why I compete. If you guys have any questions, you know, let me know. But I'd love to help you guys out and get a plan to compete and have fun with it. All right, see you guys.